All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. We know some of you are joining us in the morning, in the middle of the day, and in the evening, and we're just so thankful that you chose to be with us during this time today. Um, we want to first start by getting to know the most important people in the room, and that, of course, is you. So, based on where you're feeling level of engagement wise, we would love if you're feeling like you want to engage, if you could just share your name, your professional title, and a very hot topic debate. What is your favorite writing utensil? This I just love seeing the answers to when you ask this question. So we'll give you a moment to take a peek at this and then we'll move on. And as you're thinking of that, I'll move into introducing us a little bit. My name is Candace Robertson. I am the Assistant Director of Student Experience and Outreach for the MALXD program. And what you will and how you will interact with me the most is that I will be your advisor upon admission to the program. And so I will support you throughout your journey and beyond in MALXD. I have brown curly hair and I wear glasses.
And my name is Liz Boltz. I'm the director of MALXD, and I have the pleasure of working with an amazing team that includes Candace. I have red hair, and in this particular picture, actually in real life and in this picture, I'm wearing green.
And two of our other colleagues who you will interact with throughout your time in MALXD, who are not in this session with us, is Brittany Dillman. She's our Director of Graduate Certificate Programs, and she has short blonde hair. And Heather Williamson is our Academic Program Coordinator. All things application, she will be the one you engage with. And she has kind of wavy light brown hair and some bangs. And I forgot to add in that my favorite writing utensil is definitely a felt tip pen. I am very adamant about that one. That is what I'm going to go to. And then as you're getting to know us about and who we are as educators and designers, it's really important for us to situate ourselves in our work so that you can best understand us. We acknowledge our individual privileges and we actively work against the implicit bias and oppressive structures that impact our educational institutions and society. We are really humbled to be able to do this critical work that's required to improve learning experiences and environments for all learners. And to ensure that we capture the diversity of perspectives and experiences of all of our learners, we will be working with a student advisory board that will be formed of MALXD learners and critical thought partners from the industry to make sure we capture these perspectives. And we also utilize our knowledge of societal structures and practices to lead in the field in these ways. And as we're getting to know MALXD, the program provides a critical lens of equity, accessibility, and social justice in human-centered learning and design. MALXD graduates will become leaders in the thoughtful consideration and examination of issues that impact learners as unique individuals and will create well-informed, playful, and powerful learning design solutions. And who are MALXD learners? Well, we know there are multiple facets to your identity and the responsibilities you hold according to those identities. And so we know that most of you will be full-time professionals holding a full-time position in addition to being an online learner. You also have your home identities and responsibilities, social identity and responsibilities, and cultural identities and responsibilities. And what we see our job as is part of our job is getting to know all of these aspects of you and using that to best support you in your professional and academic outcomes. We know that you will be experienced designers and some of you will also be new to the field, and we expect all of those levels. And so we just want to say, like, we're the right fit for you. And so somebody had asked, because what we've done is we've any questions that have come in from your reservation forms, we've put kind of throughout our presentation today. And of course, if you have any questions that pop up, you can drop those in the chat or the Q&A, and we'll make sure we get to those too. But somebody had asked, like, who is the primary target audience for MALXD? And like I was saying, we really envision that MALXD learners will be designers of probably primarily adult learning experiences. You might be in a corporate role, higher education, nonprofit, training and development, healthcare, human services, museum educators, and more. You also might not be in an instructional design or learning experience design position right now, and we're here to help you prepare for that as well. And we know that a graduate degree is a significant investment in your future. So we want to make sure that we clearly cover the tuition rate and that we cover some funding opportunities as well. So the College of Education's online master's tuition rate is $933 US dollars per credit hour. And as an MALXD learner, that is 30 credit hours or 10 courses that you'll be completing. And so that puts you at a total tuition cost of $27,990. What we have done, because we believe in reducing the cost where possible, one, we're working on some really exciting opportunities, which we're hoping that we'll be able to share very soon. But we have two buttons on your screen. One is a curated funding opportunities, and that is a curated document of scholarships, fellowships, grant searches, and also exact scholarships and fellowships that you might be eligible for in receiving to help offset the cost. And then we also have an employer information sheet if there's any possible support for your employer. If you find anything outside of these opportunities, or if your employer is willing to cover things but needs some other type of documentation, even a partial tuition assistance, please let us know, and we will happily write whatever letter is needed to support you in that, or create any documentation that is needed to provide to your employer or for a scholarship opportunity. So we are absolutely on your side with that. We serve as recommenders all of the time for our learners in our programs. And then what is kind of an overview of the program? As an MALXD learner, you're going to complete 10 online asynchronous courses. In those 10 courses, you're going to earn 3 stackable graduate certificates and 1 master's degree, all within the 10 courses. One question that came in is it possible to work full-time while engaging in the program? Absolutely. We know that that is going to be one factor of primarily all of our students' identities, is that they're going to be employed full-time in addition to taking their coursework. And we plan for that, and we leverage that in our design of our courses. So one other way to think about this program overview and experience is kind of in these stackable graduate certificates toward your degree. So you would start by earning a graduate certificate in learning sciences, and then a graduate certificate in learning design, and a graduate certificate in learning design leadership. And then you'll take that final capstone course, which will be your final course, and then you'll earn your MALXD degree. One other way of kind of picturing how this plays out is in a table. And this table shows you what semesters and what courses you'd be taking and the credential that's awarded that semester. So in order for you to be eligible as a full-time student to receive financial aid, if that is in your plan, we need to make sure that you're taking 2 courses per semester. So what we've done, because we love to design and we love learning, is we've really intentionally planned what is going to be the optimal experience for you as a cohort to build your knowledge in deep ways, in the most meaningfully structured. And so that is why there's a set sequence, and then those awards come throughout. So you would start in fall, your first graduate certificate would be earned in spring. Then in summer, you would earn that second graduate certificate. And then that following spring, you would earn your third certificate, and your master's degree. That button, the courses page button, will take you to information about each of those courses so that you can kind of have a description of each. Some questions that came in around coursework. One is, what is being covered as far as accessibility standards and practices? So MALXD learners are not only going to learn about accessibility standards and practices, but you're going to experience it as a learner throughout your coursework as well. All of our course content is 100% accessible. We use and teach WCAG standards. We also guide learners in their exploration of accessibility as a part of learning experience design as a whole. So you're going to be focusing on why and how, and also how to support and lead in these efforts in your professional context. We believe that all learning should be accessible. So accessibility is woven throughout the experience and also emphasized in key courses like CEP 820, Teaching and Learning Online, and then through a partnership course that we are excited to offer, which is UX 835, Accessibility and Design. To build on accessible practices, we also guide our learners in areas such as reducing and eliminating ableist language from learning experience design. Another question that came in about courses is, how is Universal Design for Learning, UDL, being addressed and incorporated in the design? UDL will be addressed and incorporated into the design similarly to accessibility. You will experience it as a learner, and we kind of will have these pull back the curtain kind of moments to discuss our design decisions throughout your course experiences and to reveal kind of that intentionality of design so that you can learn from how also we've created an experience for you. And MALXD learners are also going to expressly learn about UDL in their coursework and be expected to incorporate it into their designs as well. Now, what does the learning experience hold for you? So in your coursework, you're going to connect with a dynamic community upon admission. You're going to feel that your unique learner needs and professional context are understood. Your experiences in learning are going to be inclusive, anti-racist, and accessible. We're going to spark ideas through creative and playful pedagogical approaches. You're going to earn your graduate certificates as key milestones in your program experience. You'll critically evaluate frameworks, theories, and technologies. You'll design relevant artifacts. You'll iterate on those, and you'll build a professional portfolio. And then you will graduate with your MALXD degree, and you'll be connected to the MALXD community moving forward. A question that has come in is, what are the career outcomes with an MALXD degree? So if you are entering this field, you can obtain a position in instructional design or learning experience designer. If you are already situated in the field and using your master's to head into a leadership role, some of those possible titles, because there are a lot of different titles for this for this field and this type of work, are, you know, a learning and development manager, a director of staff development, director of e-learning, director of education or learning and development. So there are a range of titles, but our goal is to support you in not only entering the field, if that is what you're doing, but then to advance in the field. Our application due date is June 1st, 2024 for our first cohort of MALXD learners, which we're incredibly excited about. This is a quick checklist to help you prepare for submitting your application. You need your names and contact information for 3 professional references. You'll need to provide a personal statement, which we have a prompt for on our application page. We have, MSU has a university application that you have to submit, and then a current CV or resume and your official transcripts from any degree granting institutions that you've attended. For participating today, you receive an application fee waiver. So once your application is complete, what you will do is submit it, and then Heather, who we introduced you to at the beginning, she will contact you and you can say, you know, yep, I'm ready for that application fee waiver. It should be automatic actually because of your participation. So if there's any hiccups, just let us know and we will solve that for you. But the buttons on this page are the apply page with all of the complete application details. And then we also have a checklist to help guide you through. If you're a person who loves a checklist and crossing things off, Liz and I are big fans of that. So you can find that to support you along that journey as well. I think if I had to give you a tip for an application, and Liz can add to this how she sees fit, but I think submitting an application for graduate level work can sometimes provoke some nervous energy. And what I would say is, hi, I'm Candace and this is Liz, and we're the humans on the other side of this experience. So we're just some of the humans, but we're some of the humans. So we really want to get to know you as a designer through your application because we want to mutually make sure that we're the best fit for your professional needs as well. So I think people turn in, like, let's say the personal statement, they turn it into this huge thing, and it doesn't need to be. You don't need APA citations in your essay or in your personal statement. Set a timer, write, go back and polish it up and make sure that it represents who you are, and is your best effort in writing and all of those wonderful things. But I would say don't, and I know it's hard, and I think Liz and I are both overthinkers, but don't overthink it. Like, just write so that we can get to know who you are and make sure that we're the best fit for your needs.
Yes, I would absolutely agree with that. And the only thing I would add is that if you have questions or aren't really sure what to write about in those statements, please feel free to reach out to us. We are absolutely more than happy to answer your questions. And then Candace, we did have a question that came in from someone who mentioned that they have already submitted their application and paid the fee, and are they still eligible for the waiver?
Yes, there is a way to refund you on that. So I am taking note of your name and we will have the fantastic Heather process that for you. So if that happens to anybody else, just let us know. And congratulations on submitting your application. Look at that. That's a
Yes.
celebration right there. And I know that was a lot of information. And now we want to really make space for any questions that this has inspired or prompted, or things that you're kind of hoping to get out of some shared time and space together. So you can ask questions in the chat. We would love that and welcome that. You can ask questions in the Q&A. You can also, if after this you're like, what did they say about that thing? Well, one, you're going to have a recording of this, but two, you can email us at any time at malxdegreee@msu.edu. And if you are hoping to kind of talk about a little bit more about what this means for you as a learner, you can use that button to schedule a one-to-one, one-on-one pre-admissions advising meeting with me. And I would be more than happy to spend some time talking about what this would look like in your professional context and for your life for this next chunk of time, because it is a chunk of time that you'll be spending with us. So I'll leave a little bit of wait time to see if any more questions come in.
Eunice, we have a question. Will the diploma and transcripts say online?
No. So there is no modality listed. Sorry, I just got a dry throat all of a sudden. There's no modality listed on your transcript. And no modality listed on your actual degree or any of your certificates. When you complete your certificates, it will be transcriptable, and it will also be a lovely degree that award that you're mailed in the physical hard copy mail to hang in a beautiful frame.
All right, we have a couple other questions popping in. Will students get an MSU student ID and email?
Yes, you will absolutely get an MSU email, and then you can obtain a student ID even as an online learner. There are steps for that, which in our orientation materials, we will guide you through if you would like one of those.
And then another question,
Oh,
how much of the total tuition and fees outside of the US?
mhm. Yep. So our MSU's College of Ed's tuition is all the same across your residence. So it does not matter where you reside. There is this international student health insurance that all international students are automatically enrolled in, which can be waived. And I work with you to go through the process to waive that insurance so that you don't have it because you won't need it if you're not in the United States. So that is a process, that is a fee that appears, but then can be waived so that you do not have to pay that fee.
And we have a
Oh.
question, will the program provide opportunities for community building with the larger instructional design community and with our cohort?
Yes, absolutely. We believe in a connected community. So you will be engaging with your cohort a lot. And then we will be looking at opportunities to lead in different spaces in instructional design. What we're currently doing, what we're currently hosting, and it's our last slide here. And this is a great example of how we're engaging with the larger instructional design community and some exciting opportunities which might be coming for our learners is like we're hosting currently a 4 session workshop series to engage instructional designers outside of MALXD. And of course, if you want to attend as a potential future MALXD learner, absolutely, we'd love to have you there as well. But we're looking at how our learners can then engage and lead in similar types of workshops and conversations. But also as we work with our critical thought partners in the industry, we will be engaging them and looking at connections and opportunities through their networks as well, so that you're getting a more diverse network access than just who all of us as individuals know as well. And then I think there was another question about, although the program is new, will there be examples of portfolios that can be accessed? And absolutely, that is on a website that we have. And you would just have to know that it will look, I don't want to use the word luck, I'm going to change that, that it will take form in a little bit different way when you go as an MALXD learner because your context is different and some of those requirements will be slightly altered, but we certainly do have um, examples. And let me just pull it up really quick and I can
Yes, it
share.
is. I've got it, Candace.
Oh, you
Yep.
got it? Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Thank you, Liz. And what we do um, when you start your journey is we prepare you for that capstone throughout your entire time. So you're going to be developing your portfolio from the start. You're going to be publishing work to it from the start. We're going to ask you every course to reflect on your learning in that course and document it so that by the time you get to capstone, you remember exactly what your takeaways from each course were. So we're going to really intentionally prepare you for that capstone portfolio as well, so that you have a really seamless and smooth transition into that final reflection on your learning.
All right, we have a question. What is the difference between an instructional design master's versus a learning experience design master's?
So learning experience design is taking into account more of the future of the field and where it is headed. So we're looking more deeply at learning sciences and things of that nature to best prepare you for learning in a variety of spaces. Of course, online is a huge component of that, but we're thinking about learning experiences as a whole as well, in all modalities. But I would say it tends to be a little heavier in the learning sciences area, but is also more of where the field is going.
Thank you all so much for these great questions that
Yeah,
are
they're
coming in.
fantastic. What I will do is Liz and I will stay here for a few moments. If there are any other questions that you have that we can answer, um, we are happy to do that. And so if you want to stay on and we can chat a little bit, like we had addressed earlier, we are hosting a workshop series. And so February 7th is our next one. We're going to be talking about AI and learning experience design. And then March 6th is the final one of this 4-part series, and that is creativity and learning experience design. And in each of these workshops, we really do what we believe is great learning based on what we know about learning, but you will have like a really interactive, hands-on, engaged workshop that you'll be creating things within that session and doing the work and having discussions. It won't be like this, which is definitely more of us kind of having to give a bunch of information. But yeah, we hope that you and join us for those if you're interested in. It has no reflection of you in your potential MALXD journey if you don't come. So I want to make sure that's clear. And yeah, it's just a way for us to build community already, but also to engage in a larger network of instructional designers and learning experience designers.
Candace, we had one other question come
Yeah.
in. Are there any scholarships available for those outside of the US?
So if you click into the document that is that curated funding document, there are specific international student resources that you can leverage and see if something is applicable to you.
I would just mention, if you are an international student, just to make sure that you check
Yes.
out the international student requirements on our page, on the Apply Now page. We welcome learners from all over the globe. It's one of the strengths of our program. But we also want to make sure that you know exactly what we can and can't do. So for example, since we're an online program, we are not eligible to offer J1 or F1 visas. So we want to make sure you're aware of that. But absolutely, check out that resource that Candace shared, which is linked in one of the earlier slides. And if you have questions on that, let us know.
All right. So we will stay put for a little bit and answer any more questions, but thank you so much for joining us today. We really look forward to getting to know all of you more, and just reach out if you have any questions, please.